Young girls in 1930s China undergo the painful tradition of foot binding. Practiced for nearly 1,000 years, it aimed to create small, delicate feet. The custom caused lifelong disabilities and slowly disappeared in the 20th century as its cruelty was recognized. Scientists Luella and Winthrop Kellogg raised their baby son Donald alongside Gua, a young chimpanzee, as siblings. The experiment began in 1931 to study human and animal behavior. It ended 9 months later when Donald started imitating Gua's actions and sounds. On June 5, 1989, a man and woman hid under a bridge in Beijing. It was the day after the Tiananmen Square massacre. The Chinese military had crushed pro-democracy protests with brutal force. Fear and silence filled the city. Young surfers in Cornwall, UK, ride the waves on handmade boards crafted by a local coffin maker. In the 1920s, surfing was new to Britain, and creativity filled the gaps. These early adventurers turned the coast into their playground. This is how dental care looked at home in the 1920s. With few dentists around, people took matters into their own hands. Many performed treatments themselves or got help from family. Simple tools, steady hands, and a lot of courage. Lion tamer Jack Bonavita stands proudly with his lions. A famed circus performer in early 1900s New York, he was fearless in the ring. In 1917, his daring life ended tragically, not by a lion, but by a polar bear. In 1928, 16-year-old Betty Robinson made history, winning Olympic gold in track and field. In 1931, a plane crash left her presumed dead and sent to the morgue. She was alive in a coma. Years later, she learned to walk again. In 1936, she returned to the Olympics. Betty's relay team won gold once more, a story of resilience, courage, and comeback. In 1928, the world's largest horse was officially registered, stunning people everywhere with its incredible height and strength. It became a major attraction, drawing crowds wherever it went. Standing far above ordinary horses, it remained a true marvel of its era. Cyclists at the Tour de France in the 1920s casually smoked cigarettes mid-race. Back then, many believed smoking expanded the lungs and boosted endurance. A curious snapshot of how science and sport once intertwined. A full-face swimming mask from the early 20th century designed to shield women's skin from the sun. It offered complete protection while maintaining modesty, reflecting the beauty standards of its time. In the 1920s, the massive stone heads of Easter Island captured global curiosity. But beneath the surface lay a hidden secret. Archaeologists discovered that the heads were part of full-bodied statues, buried over centuries. The face and head skin-warming mask of the 1940s was a peculiar beauty gadget of its time. It promised glowing skin through heat therapy, showcasing the era's fascination with experimental beauty trends. Participants of the Miss Beautiful Eyes contest in Paris, 1930. The event celebrated the allure and expressiveness of the eyes, a feature greatly admired in that era's beauty ideals. Georges Blind, a brave member of the French resistance, stands before a German firing squad in the 1940s. Instead of fear, he wears a calm, defiant smile, embodying courage in the face of death. Captured during World War II, his final act became a symbol of unwavering strength and resistance. The Onna Bugeisha were Japan's fearless female samurai. They trained beside men and mastered the art of war. Armed with the sharp naginata, they fought with skill and pride. These women defended their homes and honor with unmatched courage. Civil War veteran Jacob Miller was shot in the forehead at Chickamauga on September 19, 1863. The bullet struck deep, yet he survived against all odds. For years, he lived with the open wound, a constant reminder of battle. Doctors were stunned by his endurance and will to live. Stefan Bibrowski, born in 1890 in Bielsk, Poland, was unlike anyone else. His entire body from head to toe was covered in silky blonde hair. Known as Lionel the Lion-Faced Man, he amazed audiences worldwide. Despite his unusual appearance, he was gentle, educated, and deeply kind. Two girls deliver blocks of ice in Manhattan, September 1918. With men away at war, women stepped into roles once closed to them. World War I reshaped society, proving women's strength, resilience, and ability to handle tough, demanding work. The real-life Christopher Robin and his beloved Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin Milne was the son of author A. Milne, whose stories captured childhood wonder. Their bond inspired the timeless tales that warmed hearts across generations. In Romania, 1946, a man seeks healing in an unusual way. He leans against a massive bear, believing its strength can cure his aching back. Locals once thought that the warmth and pressure of the animal could ease pain. The bear moves gently, guided by its trainer, as villagers watch in awe. April 28, 1988, a terrifying scene unfolded in the sky. The roof of an Aloha Airlines jet tore away at 24,000 feet. Wind roared through the cabin and chaos erupted. Yet, against all odds, the pilots kept control. The damaged plane made a miraculous emergency landing. Passengers and crew survived, shaken but alive. On June 13, 1970, Cheryl Brown made history. She won the Miss Iowa crown after defeating 19 white contestants at the Miss DEA pageant. Her victory marked a turning point in pageant history. Cheryl became the first African-American woman to compete for the Miss America title. Her win broke barriers and inspired generations to come. In 1957, legendary filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock shared a charming moment with Leo the Lion, MGM's famous mascot. Dressed neatly, Hitchcock poured tea for the majestic lion as if hosting an afternoon guest. The photo captured his signature dark humor and love for the absurd. Ned Parfit, the newspaper boy famed for selling Titanic headlines, met a tragic end. During World War I, he served bravely, but was killed just 2 weeks before the war ended. He died while searching for a clean uniform before heading home on leave. His story, once tied to tragedy at sea, ended in another moment of loss. Belgian coal miners crowd into a narrow elevator after a long day underground, circa 1900. Their faces are blackened with soot, their bodies weary from hours of hard labor. This powerful image captures the harsh reality of industrial life and the strength of those who fueled a nation's progress deep below the earth. In 1967, France witnessed its last recorded sword duel. The clash took place between the mayor of Marseille and a Socialist Party presidential candidate. Both men fought with elegance and restraint, reviving a centuries-old tradition. Though neither was seriously injured, the event marked the end of an era where honor was defended by the blade. Ham the chimp smiles proudly at the camera after his historic spaceflight in 1961. As the first chimpanzee launched into space, he paved the way for human missions. His calm demeanor and bravery made him a symbol of courage and scientific progress during the space race. In 1878, the outlaw Billy the Kid took a break from gunfights to play cricket with his group, the Regulators. The rare moment showed a lighter side of the Wild West legend. Even outlaws needed a game and a laugh between battles. The Thinker is a famous bronze sculpture by French artist Auguste Rodin, 1840 to 1917. It depicts a man deep in thought, his chin resting on his hand. Created to represent human contemplation and intellect, it remains one of the most iconic works in art history. The Phantom of the Opera hit theaters in the 1920s, starring Mary Philbin as Christine Daae. Her performance captivated audiences and helped define early Hollywood's golden era. During that decade, Mary was the most popular name for girls, adding to her timeless charm on and off the screen. This photo allegedly shows a massive 28-foot crocodile shot in Australia. Many, however, doubt its authenticity. Experts suggest the creature's size looks exaggerated due to camera angle and forced perspective. The image remains a blend of mystery, myth, and clever photography. On the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun in Egypt's Valley of the Kings, the ancient seal of rope and clay remained unbroken for over 3,000 years. Before its opening in 1922, it stood as the final untouched trace of Egypt's royal past. This was the last recorded moment before history was unearthed. This 1933 photo shows a thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. Once native to Australia and Tasmania, the animal was known for its striped back and dog-like build. Sadly, the species went extinct soon after, leaving behind only photos and memories of its mysterious beauty. Wojtek, the legendary bear who served in World War II, fought alongside Polish soldiers. He carried ammunition, smoked cigarettes, and enjoyed beer with his comrades. Beloved by his unit, he was officially enlisted and later retired as a corporal. Wojtek became a symbol of loyalty, strength, and the unlikely friendships born in war. In the 1940s, Margaret Gibb shared a kiss with her boyfriend while her conjoined twin, Mary, looked on. The sisters were inseparable in every sense, sharing their lives, emotions, and moments together. Their story remains one of love, resilience, and the deep bond between two souls forever connected. This colorized 1935 photo shows Hachiko, the loyal Akita, who waited outside Tokyo's Shibuya station every day for over 9 years. His owner had passed away, but Hachiko never gave up hope. Until his final day, he stood as a symbol of devotion, love, and unwavering loyalty. In 1958, Audrey Hepburn was photographed strolling through Beverly Hills with her pet deer, Ip. The gentle animal had been gifted to her by a film director, and the two formed a rare, tender bond. The image captured Hepburn's grace, warmth, and timeless charm, both on and off the screen. This striking photo captures legendary hockey goalkeeper Terry Sawchuk, his face etched with countless scars earned through years of play. Each mark reflects the toughness of an era before protective masks, a portrait of pain, courage, and dedication to the game. This 1970 photo features one of the models behind the iconic image of Uncle Sam. With his white beard, wide-brimmed hat, and star-studded suit, Uncle Sam became a timeless symbol of American patriotism. His image inspired unity and pride during both World Wars. In the 1930s, car air conditioning meant attaching a swamp cooler to your window. These devices used evaporated water to cool the air while driving. They stayed popular until the 1960s, when built-in car air conditioning took over. 2 American soldiers sleep in a muddy trench in Normandy during Operation Overlord, summer 1944. Exhausted from battle, they find brief rest amid the chaos. A quiet moment in the midst of war's fury. The Face of War is a haunting painting by Salvador Dali, created in 1940 in California during World War II. It depicts the terrifying visage of war, filled with anguish and death. Through this work, Dali expressed the deep fear and horror that the war brought to humanity. Elderly women in central Bosnia display traditional tattoos known as sikanje, a custom among Croatian Catholics. Practiced in the 1930s and 1940s, these tattoos were believed to protect against Ottoman oppression. Each mark tells a story of faith, identity, and resistance. On April 5, 1976, black lawyer Ted Landsmark unknowingly walked into an anti-busing protest in Boston. The crowd, enraged by the push for racial integration, turned violent. In a shocking moment captured by photographers, one protester attacked Landsmark with an American flag. In 1945, the gadget became the first atomic bomb ever created. It was part of the Manhattan Project, a top-secret U.S. program to develop nuclear weapons during World War II. Tested in the New Mexico desert, it marked the dawn of the atomic age. In 1967, Catherine Switzer made history as the first woman to run the Boston Marathon. Race organizers tried to physically remove her mid-race, furious that a woman had entered an all-male event, but she kept running, supported by fellow runners who blocked the officials. On August 6, 1945, the atomic bomb exploded over Hiroshima, unleashing unimaginable destruction. 3 days later, a second bomb struck Nagasaki. The blinding mushroom clouds from these explosions were captured in haunting photographs. On April 19, 1995, tragedy struck Oklahoma City when a massive truck bomb exploded outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. The blast, made from fuel and fertilizer, killed 168 people, including children in a daycare center. It was one of the deadliest acts of domestic terrorism in U.S. history. A baby practices walking inside a wicker frame while the mother does laundry. 1910s. These early walking aids kept babies safe and upright while parents worked. Simple yet clever, they show how everyday life mixed care and creativity in an era before modern baby gear. A young girl sits quietly with her doll amid the ruins of her bombed home in London, 1940. The photo captures the haunting innocence of childhood against the backdrop of war. Surrounded by rubble, she clings to normalcy as the Blitz devastates the city. Taken in 1967, this powerful photo, known as the Kiss of Life, shows an electrician performing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a coworker who had been electrocuted atop a power pole. The image captures a dramatic moment between life and death, symbolizing bravery and quick action. On May 13, 1897, Guglielmo Marconi made history by sending the world's first radio message across open water while visiting a seaside resort in Somerset. His receiver, later examined by post office officials in Levernock, proved that wireless communication was possible. Sam Scher, a photojournalist, gained fame for his 1937 photograph capturing the explosion of the Hindenburg airship. Taken during its return from a transatlantic voyage, the image froze a moment of chaos and tragedy. His shot became one of history's most powerful symbols of disaster and the fragility of early aviation. 8-year-old Sadie Pfeiffer works an exhausting 11-hour shift in a cotton mill, Lancaster, South Carolina, 1908. Captured by photographer Lewis Hine, the image exposed the harsh realities of child labor in America. Hine risked his safety to document these scenes, often disguising himself to evade factory guards. In the 1920s United States, women's fashion took on a bold new look. Dresses featured straight, flat silhouettes, a sharp contrast to the curvier styles of earlier decades. This shift reflected freedom, modernity, and the changing role of women in society. In 1940, during the Blitz, London's Balham metro station served as a refuge for civilians seeking safety. Tragedy struck when a 1,400-kilogram bomb hit the station, killing around 66 people who had taken shelter inside. The blast caused massive damage, flooding the tunnels and closing the line. On December 11, 1941, at the Kroll Opera House in Berlin, Adolf Hitler stood before the German Reichstag. As he declared war on the United States, members of the assembly raised their arms in salute. The moment marked a turning point in World War II, drawing America fully into the global conflict. In the 1940s, writer and activist Stetson Kennedy went undercover inside the Ku Klux Klan using a false identity. He risked his life to expose their secrets, rituals, and violent plans. His brave actions helped weaken the group's power and revealed the danger of organized hate in America. In 1921, Deputy Commissioner John A. Leach of the New York City Police stands in uniform, supervising the destruction of seized alcohol. The operation was part of Prohibition, a nationwide effort to ban liquor. Surrounded by barrels and bottles, Leach's firm stance symbolized the strict enforcement of the era's controversial law. The first official FIFA World Cup was held in 1930, organized by Jules Rimet. Hosted in Uruguay, it marked the beginning of international football's greatest tournament. The home team claimed victory, becoming the first nation to lift the World Cup trophy. On March 14, 1951, his 72nd birthday, Albert Einstein left the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. Surrounded by eager photographers, he grew tired of the flashing cameras. In a moment of playful defiance, the world's most famous physicist stuck out his tongue, creating one of the most iconic photos in history. The 1980 Summer Olympics opened in Moscow with grand spectacle and pride. The ceremony at Luzhniki Olympic Stadium showcased the Soviet Union's power and pageantry. Thousands of athletes from across the globe marched in unison, celebrating sport amid a tense political climate. Dorothy Counts, the first black student to attend an all-white school in the United States, walks toward Harry Harding High School in Charlotte in 1957. Surrounded by jeering white students, she faces open hostility and insults, a stark image of the struggle for desegregation during the civil rights movement. Danish Arctic explorer Peter Freuchen poses with his wife in 1947. Known for his extraordinary survival stories, Freuchen once amputated his own frostbitten toes with pliers, escaped an avalanche using a knife he made from frozen feces, and later broke free from a Nazi prison camp. Mary Fields, famously known as Stagecoach Mary, was a 6-foot-tall former slave with a fierce spirit and unbreakable determination. In the late 1800s, she became the first black woman to work as a U.S. mail carrier. Known for her strength, sharp aim, and fearless attitude, she delivered mail through rugged Montana terrain. This is the last known photo of Nikola Tesla, taken shortly before his death in 1943. Once a genius who changed the world with his inventions, Tesla spent his final years alone at the New Yorker hotel. He was penniless, quiet, and forgotten by most. On January 7, 1943, he died in his room at age 86. Bolaji Badejo, a 6'10" Nigerian design student, was the man inside the terrifying xenomorph suit in the 1979 sci-fi classic Alien. His towering height and graceful movements gave the creature its eerie presence. Badejo was discovered by chance in a London bar and was chosen for his unique physique. A 1930s photo shows Arsenal's Ted Drake being carried off the pitch, knocked out cold after a brutal clash. But the story didn't end there. After being revived, he insisted on returning to the game. Still dazed, Drake stormed back onto the field and scored not 1, but 3 goals. Rin Tin Tin, the legendary German Shepherd, was rescued from a World War I battlefield. From soldier's companion to Hollywood icon, his story became one of the most inspiring in film history. He made his acting debut in 1923 in Where the North Begins and quickly rose to stardom. A Halloween celebration. In the 1920s, United States looked far scarier than today. People wore eerie, handmade masks and oversized costumes that gave off an unsettling vibe. There were no fancy store-bought outfits or polished looks, just raw creativity and pure creepiness. Bonnie and Clyde, the infamous outlaw couple of the Great Depression, became legends of crime and chaos. Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow roamed across America in the early 1930s, robbing banks and evading police at every turn. Their daring heists and rebellious love story fascinated the public, turning them into dark folk heroes. In the 1920s, Los Angeles police used motorcycles with built-in sidecar prison cells to transport detainees. The compact design made it easy to move through crowded streets. The small cage attached to the sidecar was barely big enough for one person. It looked strange, but worked efficiently for quick arrests. In 1839, Robert Cornelius took what is believed to be the first photographic self-portrait in history. He set up his camera, removed the lens cap, and quickly ran into frame. The exposure took several minutes, requiring him to stay completely still. The result was a haunting yet historic image that marked the birth of the selfie. August Landmesser defied the Nazi regime in a single brave moment. He refused to raise his arm in salute during a rally, standing firm among a sea of followers. His act was a silent protest against the laws that forbade him from marrying his Jewish fiancée, Irma Eckler. Their love was forbidden, yet he refused to bow to hate. Inventor Chester E. McDuffie stands proudly beside one of the first atmospheric diving suits around 1911. The massive suit weighed 550 pounds, built from metal plates and rivets. It looked more like a deep-sea tank than a suit. Designed to explore ocean depths safely, it was revolutionary for its time. Ludmila Mikhailovna Pavlichenko was a Soviet sniper during World War II. She earned fame for her deadly precision on the battlefield. Officially, she had 309 confirmed kills, though some reports claim over 500. Her skill and bravery made her a legend. Even today, she remains the most successful female sniper in history. Colonel Harlan David Sanders was the real man behind KFC's famous mascot. Long before becoming a global icon, he ran a small gas station in Kentucky. It was there he began serving his signature fried chicken to travelers. His recipe, made with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, quickly gained fame. In the 1930s, a Catholic woman and her Protestant husband were buried side by side, but divided by a stone wall. The wall symbolized the religious divide that even death couldn't bridge. Each grave stood on its own side, reflecting the strict traditions of the time. Yet their closeness defied separation. Taken in 1888 in the Netherlands, this photo actually shows one of the earliest subway train rides at Edgware Road Station in London. The image captures the awe and curiosity of passengers experiencing underground travel for the first time. In 1937, suspended baby cages were used by families living in apartment buildings. These wire enclosures hung outside windows to give infants sunlight and fresh air in cramped city spaces. Parents believed it promoted better health and stronger immune systems. Though it looks dangerous today, it was once seen as a smart urban solution. In the 1920s, beach police actually measured women's bathing suits to ensure they met modesty standards. If the swimsuits were too short, women were fined or even arrested on the spot. These bathing suit inspectors patrolled beaches across America, tape measures in hand. The rules were part of a moral push to keep fashion decent. In the 1930s, Chicago became a symbol of modern innovation. Among its bold ideas was the car elevator system, designed to move vehicles between floors in multi-level parking garages. This invention reflected the city's forward-thinking approach to urban design and engineering. In December 1961, the Beatles played to a crowd of only 18 people at the Aldershot Club. The audience was tiny, the hall nearly empty, and no one could have guessed what was coming. Just a year and a half later, the same band would cause mass hysteria across the world. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, poses with his wife in this historic photo. He holds a basket while she holds the ball, symbolizing the origins of the game. In 1891, Naismith created basketball as an indoor sport to keep his students active during harsh winter months. This iconic photo shows Mahatma Gandhi sitting beside his spinning wheel, the charkha. Gandhi promoted it as a symbol of self-reliance and peaceful resistance against British colonial rule. The image perfectly captures his message of simplicity, dignity, and independence, inspiring millions to embrace local craftsmanship. At just 16, Arnold Schwarzenegger competed in his first bodybuilding contest, marking the start of a legendary journey. His drive and discipline soon made him a global icon, earning multiple Mr. Olympia titles. This early passion not only sculpted his body, but also paved the way for his rise in Hollywood and politics. This rare photo shows the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, as a young boy soon after being recognized as the reincarnation of Tibet's spiritual leader. Taken in the late 1930s, the image captures his calm and gentle presence even at such a young age. Few could have imagined that this child would one day become a symbol of peace.